This segment of DelmarvaLife is sponsored by TidalHealth.
Well, it's happened to all of us. Maybe it's a little scrape or a tiny cut and suddenly you're bleeding. A lot of times it's more of an annoyance than a threat, but then there are those instances where it's much more serious and maybe even life-threatening.
And when it's something that can't be solved with a simple bandage, it is beyond valuable to understand the steps you can take to stop the bleed and potentially save a life. And we're here with Doug Walters, an EMS nurse liaison with TidalHealth. Welcome to DelmarvaLife. So first of all, before we get into the Stop the Bleed, can you tell us how you got involved in healthcare?
Actually, my first career was in the business field, and then I had some health problems, and that got me interested in healthcare, so healthcare is a second career for me.
Oh, wonderful.
And I started pre-hospital working on the ambulance, and then ended up going to nursing school and became a nurse. And now I'm here at the Trauma Center in Salisbury.
Okay.
So I want to make sure I get this right. The number one cause of preventable death after injury is uncontrolled bleeding?
Yes.
Why is that?
Just because, as you know, I said earlier, people can bleed to death in as little as 5 to 10 minutes. So EMS, it takes 7 to 10 minutes average nationally for them to respond to an emergency, and you can bleed to death in 5 to 10. So you've got major arteries that run through different parts of your body, and there's ways to compress those and slow the bleeding down or stop the bleeding before help arrives.
Okay, so let's talk about this process. Is it difficult to learn?
It is not difficult to learn. We have taught people from first graders, 6 years old, all the way to a set of 90-year-old twins have taken the course. So anyone can learn these principles, and they're pretty basic. It is direct pressure. It is wound packing, and if that doesn't control it and you happen to have one available, a tourniquet.
Okay.
So you have a personal connection to this.
Yes, I do. When I was entering my senior year of high school, I had an injury, and I had a severe laceration to my leg, and my father was quick to put a tourniquet on it because, as you know, you see the old films where they show blood squirting in the air. Well, certainly it was squirting, and he put a tourniquet on because we lived about 25 to 30 miles from the closest hospital at the time. So he put a tourniquet on and got me to the emergency room and stop the bleed.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so there are 3 key steps.
Three key steps.
Can you go over those?
Yes, so our first one is direct pressure. Take your hand and just put pressure right over the wound and compress as hard as you can. We certainly want you to as well call 911. So in the course, when you take it, the first thing we say is to dial 911 first, put it on speaker, put the phone down beside you, and then use your hands to do the direct pressure, because then you're free to talk. So while you're putting direct pressure, you can use the heel of your hand. If you don't have a lot of upper body strength, you could use your knee to put it right over the wound. And if that doesn't control it and you have things available, it can be a shop towel, it could be your t-shirt, their t-shirt, that's what we teach in the class. Any shirt will do. And just stuff that right down inside of the wound and just press it in as far as you can. You want to get as much surface contact that you can achieve as possible to stop that bleeding. And then if that's not working and you happen to have one available, we don't teach makeshift tourniquets. You know, when we were Boy Scouts, they taught you how to make a tourniquet with some cravats and sticks. We don't teach that in the class. If you have a tourniquet available, you use that. If not, you just continue with the direct pressure and the wound packing. There are great kits that you can purchase.
Yeah, show us what you got here.
This one here is from bleedingcontrol.org, and inside of these kits they have the tourniquet, and they have some gauze that you can pack a wound, and they have the instructions spelled out very easy in pictures here. They have a set of gloves, and they have some gauze that you can also use for compression, and then a nice marker to put a time. It used to teach that, you know, there was a time limit to have a tourniquet on. They would let them loose, let a little bit of bleed in, and put it back on because they didn't want to cut complete circulation off. Out of the combat fields and combat medicine, they have had tourniquets in place up to 12 to 14 hours and never let them loose, and the individual didn't lose their limb.
That's amazing.
So it is amazing. So things have come forth out of, all of this actually came out of the battlefield medicine and in the studies. And this is just one kit, and you can make up your own kit. You can buy a commercial kit. I think these run around about $35 if you went to this organization. But Walgreens and all those places sell all of these things right online, and you can purchase those and make up your own kit.
Good to have around the house.
It's good to have around us because this stuff can be, these principles can be applied everywhere. School, work, at the sports fields, on the highway if you're driving down the road and there happens to be a major accident in front of you or you're involved and there's someone in your car that you can apply these principles to.
So what age groups can learn this?
Every age group. And again, as I said, we taught first graders at the elementary school all the way up through 90-year-old twins that came to one of our classes. And they were really fun to teach the class too.
So, but you have training as well. So how can we sign up for the training?
We have trainings offered right through the hospital, TidalHealth Peninsula, which is our level 3 trauma center here in Region 4, which is the lower part of Maryland. And you can reach out to our trauma office, and I'm sure we'll have our emails on there available and phone numbers that you can contact us, and we will come out and teach a class. It's free. It takes about an hour. We have multiple instructors, so if we have a large class, we can bring multiple people and still get it done in an hour. And it is great information to have. We, pre-COVID, we went out and taught all public and private schools in Wycomico, Worcester, and Somerset County, along with the bus drivers. And through a grant, we were able to provide them all with a Stop the Bleed kit.
Good information to have, and good to know that you can get the training for free. Doug,
Yes.
thank you for coming in.
You're welcome.
This afternoon.
Thank
to
you.
DelmarvaLife.